So what are we doing here?
Okay, I want to do a quick bit. These distractions, they're distractions, but they're still interesting, okay? So I want to do something real quick on, well, I'm just going to establish something real quick, okay? This is me. This is one of my, I can't remember if it's my first or second Emmy. This is me with Mike Wallace, the ultimate sort of storyteller, 60 Minutes guy. Died at 90-something years old. This is our film cabin. We have a drop-down screen. Look, how cool is that? We have like theater seats over here, right? Look at that. A projector, Bluetooth speaker. You can watch your own stuff. It's really cool. Anyways, I want to show you something else. Show the viewers something else. Obviously, I don't need to show Holly. Holly knows. Okay?
Well, where are we going?
We're going to go to the hikers and mountain bikers. Excuse me, the hikers and climbing cabin. Okay? It'll look a little weird for a second because we're in the dark. But look at this beautiful. Look at that. Can you see that? Can you see snow? Pretty cool.
You can.
It's snowing out today. But this is the hikers and climbing cabin. And we're gonna have a climbing wall off the back of this next year. But I'm bringing it here for a different reason. Okay. This is me and Alex Honnold, who you guys might know from the Netflix program the other day where he just climbed the tower in Taipei. And this is his biography. And it says, Jeff, thanks for making me famous and allowing me to climb full time. Hope we get to climb more, Alex. Now, that was a joke. Like, I climb with Alex. It's ridiculous. He's so good. But I'm trying to make a point here. Really what I want to talk about is this distraction called Melania. And I promise you that I'm going to do this. You're going to get a few minutes of this tonight, and I'm working on another story that's coming out tomorrow. Okay, so I just want to get this out of my head, and so you guys can, because there's a lot of talk discussion about Melania tonight. Come on, real quick. We're going to the writer's cabin. Okay. All right. Gonna hurry up here. So, this movie. It cost $45 million to make, and it cost like another $30 million or something like that. $75 million is the number everybody's putting out there, which includes promotions. Okay, it includes promotion and her fee, production, everything, right? $75 million.
Well, how much does a documentary normally cost?
That's a good question. So that one, Alex Honnold, I didn't make it with him. That was weird. Something was beeping. So that movie that he got famous in was called Free Solo. There we go. Turn this on here. Oop. There we go. The movie he made with Jimmy Chin was Free Solo. And it was death-defying. They won the Oscar for Best Documentary, okay? Now, I made my film with him for 60 Minutes. I think it was like 7 years before that, which is why he said such nice things about me in this biography, because it was really the first big climb he'd ever done for television. And I told him he needed an agent. He didn't believe me. And then, like a couple days after the story came out, he had to get an agent. But anyways, Melania's movie, so Free Solo would have run a couple million, okay? And this guy's climbing a mountain, right, with no ropes. And he's risking his life. Probably got a few $100,000 for it, maybe. Let's say he got $1 million. We know that in the Taipei climb, he got around $500,000. He was happy to take $500,000. So it tells you, but he's not Melania, right? She's the first lady. So you're going to give her quite a bit of money. But her fee apparently has been reported at $35 million. I mean, that's George Clooney money for films that cost hundreds of millions to make. And they're all excited because they said, Variety, I think, was reporting, I just heard this, that they made $7 or $7.5 million in the first week or weekend. And they're all excited about that because it's such a huge box office opening for a documentary, which is true. They spent $75 million, so there's $68 million or so away from breaking even. which is ridiculous. Free Solo, for instance, made for a couple million, made under 30 million, but maybe it's 28 or something like that is the number I read. Let's just ballpark it. You're not going to recover that money. There's no way you're going to make 75 million back and then make a profit on that film. And the people at Amazon would have known that. They know that there's no way a documentary, even about Melania, is going to make 75 million plus. So why did they do that? Why would they make a film that cost 75 million and they're all excited about the first weekend being 7 million? That's not normal. So really what's happening here is, this to me is a clear graft where Amazon knows as a company, Jeff Bezos is, he doesn't run it anymore. But $75 million to a company like that is nothing. It's like a tip to your waitress to them. And they know that they're going to get it back somehow. There's probably agreement on how they're going to get it back. I don't know, but they're definitely going to get favorable treatment, especially since they've worked so hard to spend the money investing to get it out. And Donald Trump knows that. Donald Trump, who has been, according to the Wall Street Journal, getting all sorts of cash for pardons. Just think how much he would invest to get from the government to get a deal to make his wife look good, and how much Amazon would spend to open up all sorts of avenues for themselves. Maybe it's tax breaks, maybe it's favorable deals, maybe has to do with how they're shipping. It could be any number of things, but there's just no possible way that any documentary is going to cost 75 million. It's not how it works. And I tell you that as a guy who, for National Geographic, we made a docuseries for television with some of the best directors of photographies and producers in the business. And National Geographic is known for throwing money at projects. And we were spending 1.2 million roughly per hour of television. And that was over budget, way over budget. So think about 75. I mean, even with 10 million to do the production of this movie, and let's say the director got 2 million or something like that. I don't know what his number was, but I mean, you have 6 or 8 million in production, 8 million in production. That's still a ton of money for something where you're not having to do very much with her. She's just following her around a little bit. And I don't even know if it was scripted or not. If it's scripted, it's not even really a documentary as far as I'm concerned. If it's unscripted and they just followed her around for 20 days or something like that, there's no fucking way this number is real. So, yeah, just look at that as a payoff to Amazon, or to Donald Trump from Amazon, for future considerations, we'll call it. As a person who, I've worked for Amazon, by the way. I've worked on an Amazon project. And I remember that, we couldn't write off our Starbucks coffees. So this is a company that's really tight with its budgets. I mean, they'll spend money when they have to, but so, okay. That's all I have to say about Melania. Oh, one last thing. They talk about how much money was made at the box office. We know that a lot of theaters were empty, completely empty. We've seen reports of that all over the place. And there's been reporting that, and it's not coming from me, it's from other sources, but that Republican donors were buying up tons of tickets and just basically handing them out to people to make sure these numbers went up. So that's fine, that's what they want to do. But they're not going to do that all the way to 75 million, I can promise you. Anyways, from the writer's cabin and our cabins up here in rural Virginia, like, follow, share, comment, and see us over on Substack, where you can get subscriptions to listen to crazy ideas like this every day.